Alright, hey guys, in this video I'm going to go over standard form of the equation of a line. These notes correspond to page 12 in your Unit 4 notes packet. I'm just doing it on a whiteboard just because it's a little bit easier. Makes it bigger and easier for you to see. So this is standard form, ax plus by equals c. Okay? Now, a few rules or stipulations about this form. A, the number in front of x, has to be positive, and it can't be a fraction. B and C are allowed to be negative, but they also can't be a fraction. So when you're writing your answers in standard form, you should have no fractions, and A is not allowed to be negative. Okay? So in our first example, I'm giving you an equation in slope-intercept form. Right? This is slope-intercept form, and I want you to convert it excuse me, to standard form. Well, if I want to make it look like this, I need to move my x and the number in front of x to the other side. So the way to move it over is just to subtract it, right? It's positive on this side. It's going to be negative on the other side. So I just move it over. It cancels out here, and now I have 3 over 4x plus y, I just bring my y down, equals, I just copy down my negative 4, right? So the y and the negative 4 did not change, I just moved my x value to the other side. And I dropped my negative, oops, there we go. Now, if you remember the rules that I just stated, this number can't be negative and it can't be a fraction, so we have to multiply by a number that's going to change that. So you have to think, well, what number is going to cancel out the negative and going to cancel out the fraction? This might seem really confusing, but if you think about it for a little bit, you're just going to multiply by negative 4, right? The 4 is just coming from whatever's on the bottom of the fraction, and it's negative because that's going to cancel out this negative. So I'm going to multiply by negative 4. Now everything in my equation gets multiplied by that negative 4. I can't just multiply the x value by negative 4, or that would change our equation entirely. This is going to change what our equation looks like, but the value will still be the same. So negative 4 times negative 3 over 4 just leaves you, I'm going to just move right up here, with a positive 3x, then minus 4y, and that's going to equal 16. So there's our equation of the line in standard form. Okay? So let's do example B. Excuse me. Alright, so I have y equals 5/2 x minus 6. And again, I just want you to convert this into standard form. Your first step is going to be the same. Move your x value to the other side. So I'm just going to subtract it from both sides. If it's positive on this side, it will be negative on this side. So I will have a negative 5 over 2x plus y, the y stays the same, equals negative 6, right? I just dropped that down. I just dropped the y down. I just moved the x value over. Okay? Again, I can't leave my answer like this because of the rules that we have for standard form. So I have to multiply by something. Now, I need to cancel out the negative. I have to cancel out the fraction. So I'm going to multiply by a negative 2. Everything in my equation gets multiplied by a negative 2. That leaves me with a 5x minus 2y equals a positive 12. And there's our equation in standard form. All right. Let's look at C. Okay, now in letter C, when you're looking at number C, or letter C, you have a graph in front of you. It says find the equation of the line below in standard form. So I can't just look at that line and know what the standard form is. I first have to find my slope and my y-intercept, and I need to write the equation in slope-intercept form, and then I can convert it. So if you count your rise over run on that line, you're going to get 6 over 2. So my slope is 3. The b is the point where it crosses the y-axis, and that's just 6. So if I write out my slope-intercept form, I'm going to get y equals 3x plus 6. But I want this equation in standard form, so let's convert it. To move my 3x over, I have to subtract it. Okay, so that gives me negative 3x, copy down the y, copy down the 6. Now this number is not allowed to be negative. Now it's not a fraction, so I don't have to worry about multiplying by a certain denominator, but I'm just going to multiply everything by negative 1, so I can change my negative here. So that gives me 3x minus y equals a negative 6. And that's our answer. Okay, remember these are allowed to be negative. This value is not. And let's do our last example. Okay, so now I'm going to give you the equation of the line in standard form. And you're going to convert it back to y-intercept, or slope-intercept, sorry. So we want to get to y equals mx plus b. That's the form that we want to change this to. So we have to get the y value alone. So the first thing I'm going to do is move my 5x to the other side. So I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides. Okay? Now, it cancels out here. I bring my negative 2y down. That doesn't change. Don't lose that negative. I'm going to put my x in front because the x value here is in front of the y-intercept. And then just copy down the 12. I can't combine these values. I don't do 12 minus 5 or 12 plus 5. Like, one has an x and one doesn't. So they just stay negative 5x plus 12. Now my last step, I have to get the y alone, so I'm going to divide by a negative 2. Everything gets divided by a negative 2. Okay? So your negative 2's cancel out. You have y equals, watch your negatives here, negative 5 divided by negative 2 just becomes 5 over 2x. 12 divided by negative 2 becomes a minus 6. That's probably the most common mistake that I see in these problems, is students moving too quickly and just messing up a negative somewhere, like leaving it, forgetting about it, not doing the right algebra. So there it is, standard form. Hope that makes sense. Thanks for watching.